don't know who this guy is. To say the things that he's saying now, this is not the guy that we were married to.
I wish you would have made your choice sooner.
My choice was always to stay. Had I wanted to leave sooner, I would have left sooner.
You don't get to be in plural marriage, with a leadership. Leadership will never allow you to marry again. If you're discarding wives, well, I was in terrible relationships, but wasn't willing to discard them, didn't want to discard them. Never said that I didn't love Janelle. On the contrary, I actually said that I loved Janelle. This is some rumor that was created in the family that just sowed division. The damage was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile no matter what. And so however we are made accountable to God, I don't want to be accountable to this church and all their BS. I needed her just to go away. But Christine and Janelle both asked if they could be in the family. And with that ask, I had some special requirements that I wanted them to meet in order to come into the family. And mainly that was, there will be other wives. You've got to be committed to me. No, I have the love I want. And you guys sometimes feel like you're pining constantly for me to give you some. I mean, the other day I was having dinner with Logan and I was like going, I have really messed this up. So I was like, Robin, you stop groveling because Christine's never going to love you. Look, breaking up a marriage when you're not in love, I get it. But to assuage her guilt, she has blamed me for everything. But she's trying to assuage her guilt by saying I'm a bad man. And I get it. She needs to do that so she can find another man who will trust her. Because if she leaves a good man, most guys, well, this is risky. You get a boyfriend who wants some of our money. And between you, your boyfriend, and the state of Utah, I lose any access to Truly and all my money. Man, just the knife in the kidneys over all these years and the sacrifices that I made to love you. Wasted. Yeah, me, pick me. Nothing scares me but poverty. Nothing.
Get it.
Hi friends, it's Kody from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Friday, October 18th, 2024. Do you remember all of the things that Kody has said all over the years? That intro was me trying to compile a bunch of different statements he's made that either contradict each other, make him look like ridiculous, blaming the women, saying he loves them, saying he doesn't love them. He doesn't know that he contradicts himself in the same sentence, sometimes in the same paragraph, sometimes in the same word. And it's weird because you would think he would go back and watch the show, but it's Kody Brown. I don't think he even tries to keep track of what he says or what he thinks because he just wants to say whatever he can to get it to vomit out of me. I think word vomit. He likes to hurt people with his words. Okay, Tim, when Christine Brown left him in 2021, it kind of created a ripple effect in the family. And it kind of gave the doorway for other people to leave. People that probably had been wanting to leave for a while. But for whatever reason, Meri was still holding on. And really the only reason that Meri left was because Kody made it so that she couldn't stay. He was making comments on the show about how he didn't consider himself married to Meri anymore. He didn't view their marriage as anything more than friends. He basically had put her out to pasture and was just wanting her to stay there. And he even told Meri that he would fake being in love with her, seriously, because it was all just an act. The act was easy. Remember that? So apparently, after not caring about the release and not even bothering to engage in the process with the church, Kody then goes to talk to Meri about the marriage ending. And a brand new clip has come out from TLC, which shows a little bit more about this conversation that the two of them have. And it's again, Kody trying to rewrite history about what's happened.
I wish you would have made your choice sooner.
My choice was always to stay. Had I wanted to leave sooner, I would have left sooner.
You don't get to be in plural marriage, with a leadership. Leadership will never allow you to marry again. If you're discarding wives, well, I was in terrible relationships.
I need to break this video up because he said something there that I think if you're hearing him talk and he's talking very, very fast, and he does this a lot where he says something that I think he knows isn't what he should be saying, and then he, like, says something differently because I think, like, a narcissist like him, they lie all the time, but at the same time, they often tell on themselves, and so he said, "I didn't wanna get rid of these relationships, and leaders will never let me marry again if you discard a wife, if you get rid of a wife. So if you have wives that you don't wanna be with, if you abandon them," he's saying, "the leaders won't let you take any more wives," which means Kody wanted more wives. He would have taken more wives. Publicly, he said he wouldn't take more wives, remember? For years, he said he wouldn't take more wives, but his caveat was always, "But if I get a higher calling from the leaders and I have a choice, I will marry them. I will take another wife." He would say, "I'm at capacity, but no, I will. No, I will. No, I will. No, I want." So if he really doesn't care about the leaders and he doesn't care about the faith, he wouldn't want to add more wives, right? But then he says, "Well, they won't give me more wives if I discard them," meaning he wants more wives. And that's why he didn't get rid of them. He wanted more women, he wanted another possession, but then publicly says, "I don't want any more wives. I'll never be a polygamist again," which kind of proves to me some of the things that I've heard from people that have met him that have said that he would always flirt, he was always on the hunt, always looking for someone new. Behind the scenes, the women were so insecure because Kody was always looking for another new wife, including Robin. Robin didn't like that either. And the only reason he hadn't added another wife was because of Robin saying no. But he's saying here, "I can't have any other wives if I discard a wife." So is this really why he is so mad about this release? And that's why he doesn't want them to release Christine? Because remember, he yelled at the prophets about not giving Christine a release and, "Don't give her a release because I didn't do anything to her." So really, Cody's already thinking, "How can I get more wives?" And now he's like, "F it, I can't get any more wives." But then publicly he's saying, "I don't want any more wives." It's doublespeak. It's meant to confuse, keep you unstable. The truth is, I think Kody would take more wives if the opportunity presented itself.
But wasn't willing to discard them, didn't want to discard them, didn't even know I was in terrible relationship. You don't know you're in a bad relationship. You just think you're in a normal relationship because all your friends have the same problem until you're in a normal relationship that has deep emotional intimacy instead of some people call it F and F and the second word is fight, or F and F and the first word is fight. That doesn't create intimacy. That just creates orgasms.
I've heard Kody Brown say a lot of things in the years that I've covered sister wives and polygamy. And I've heard a lot of stories about Kody, about how he has described the intimacy, which is sex with Robin, and how he couldn't get enough of it and he wanted it all the time. He was like an addict for it. And he describing this relationship with Robin and then the intertwining of his fingers and like bumping them together and then doing the fight or F-U-C-K, and it just makes orgasm. So it makes me feel sick, honestly. Ill, ill, ill. Because for years, Kody has been on the show trying to say that polygamy isn't all about sex. It's not. It's about deep relationships, becoming a better person, learning how to enter into celestial marriage and celestial life and enduring and becoming better people and self-improvement and self-awareness. Remember all those talking points? And how it's not about a bunch of dirty old men wanting to have a bunch of sex partners and just using the women for sex, right? He's not a pervert, you guys. He's not doing this just for sex. And then yet in this clip, he is saying that he's doing this just for sex. Before Robin came along, he is saying that his relationships were fight or F-U-C-K. And for a man who is married to these women that he claimed to have loved and bore children with, to reduce that contact with a woman to a derogatory, demeaning act that is only for the sake of orgasm is disgusting. It is vile. It is disrespectful. It is abhorrent. It's degrading. So all these women were a good orgasm, And now that he's in a deep, intimate relationship with Robin, that's better because it's better sex, because you're deeper with her. Oh, it makes me want to vomit. Honestly, like Kody Brown has spent 15 years trying to convince us that this wasn't about sex. And here he is literally confirming it's all about sex. And in the same clip is saying that he would take more wives because I'm sure he wants more sex. And can you imagine the kids hearing this? And I want to just be clear about something. Say Kody is just doing this for acting and he's just trying to get a reaction out of people, right? Because he's known to do crap like this on reality television. Even if that's the case, he is still a real person saying these words, and his family are real people going to hear him say these words. And if he's trying to create a soundbite for ratings, it's abhorrent. Like that's even gross too. So either way, if he's lying here just for ratings, it's bad. But if I don't think he's lying, I think he's actually telling the truth here. I think he has convinced himself, or maybe Robin has convinced him, that all of his relationships before Robin were bad. And I think Robin was willing to kiss his ass and do whatever he wanted and always remind him what a great man he was and stroke his ego. And that created deeper intimacy. And so then basically all he had with the rest of the women was degrading, carnal acts that had no emotion, but yet he wouldn't let them go because he wanted more wives. So he was using them for sex, and so he could have a position, so he could have a reign of authority in his community, so he could possibly have more status. So these women were nothing more than objects. He just proved my point of this channel all along.
You know what really sucks? It's not divorce that sucks, it's marrying the wrong person because you don't know.
Wow. Okay. Because you married me at 6 months, you married the wrong person and you just didn't know.
I'm not even saying married,
That's
but
what
we're
it
breaking
sounded
up
like.
now. Does it mean it was the right person or was just right at the right time? I don't know. I can't philosophize this.
Yeah.
We could philosophize it to death.
Kody that doesn't even make sense. Divorce isn't what sucks. It's marrying the wrong person that sucks. Kody has spent the entirety of Sister Wives in many ways degrading Meri and making it seem like he had no idea who he was marrying. He didn't realize how particular she was. And, he makes threats against her like she's so dangerous and she's so difficult and everyone hates her. She's opinionated and strong-willed and doesn't take his crap. And in polygamy, her personality isn't one that's respected because she's not docile and submissive. And if you're not going to just bend over and apparently be his best customer all the time, then maybe life isn't that great for you. I guess if you're Robin and you're just willing to treat him like your best customer and make your bedroom look like a brothel and give him whatever kind of positions and sex that he wants and, not deny him because they're not into it. They're not like that.
I'm sorry, but if you're rejecting someone's affection, your spouse, I don't see how that's going to help your relationship. You're sitting there just constantly nagging at your husband about what you didn't get, even though you have this apple in your hand, but you really want her orange. There's stretch marks and there's weight gain and there's like stagnant in the marriage or there's fights or there's money problems or whatever it is. He still had this romance going with each of them.
I mean, Robin basically admitted that she was willing to do things sexually for Kody that he told her the other wives weren't willing to do. She's his best customer. Robin's a prostitute and Kody is a pimp. That's how I view this entire relationship. And now he's saying to her, well, it wasn't the right time, or maybe it was the right time, or maybe it was the right time at the right moment, but it's not right now. I think instead of trying to justify this and make himself appear the victim to his community, which is what he's trying to do. He's trying to make it seem like he was bamboozled by her and the reason why things were so miserable is because she abused him. I mean, I think that's what this whole smear campaign about Meri has been to him try to preserve the fact that he could get more wives to make her look like the villain and her the abuser so that he didn't look like a jerk for pushing her out the door. I'm starting to realize something Maybe Christine, Janelle, and Meri got tired of being Kody's best customer. Maybe they were tired of Kody's sexual demands. Maybe after 16 years, they were willing and ready for another woman to be the best customer. Maybe the walking away and handing him to me, basically, what Robin said, was because they were tired of being treated like an object. And apparently, Robin's still okay with being treated like an object as long as she gets stuff paid for her. It's like his ability to degrade these women never ends. And I can't understand, why does TLC, why are they okay with this in an era of Me Too and women empowerment and female improvement and feminism where women can have rights? Why do they promote this kind of stuff? Why is this what's on our TV? This is like archaic.
Yeah.
All I know is that you and I have different time stamps on when we weren't happy anymore.
What sucks is marrying the wrong person and not having the decency to tell her until 32 years later.
I don't agree with this part where Meri says what sucks is not telling her for 32 years, because Kody was saying it for a long time on the show. And even if he wasn't saying it to her privately, he was saying it publicly. And so for her to act like he didn't tell her that he wasn't interested is ridiculous, because he has said that in therapy. He has said it on the show. He had said it to her face. And she just was getting strung along by Robin to keep staying in the family because, Robin doesn't want to stay in this family without Meri. She said she would never do this family without Meri. Don't forget that. So I think she kind of leans into this "you didn't tell me for 32 years" thing to kind of strengthen the fact that she was victimized for 32 years. I think she hung around because of the false hope that Robin gave her, and maybe because Kody wouldn't let her privately leave. But he did tell her. He did tell her before 32 years. But either way, it wasn't nice how she was treated. It wasn't nice how he strung her along. It wasn't nice that Robin strung her along. And there's actually another part of this conversation that was just released, and it's clear that Robin still won't let Meri go, and it's actually disgusting and sick. So we'll talk about that in another video. All right, you guys, what are your thoughts about this? Is Kody as gross, disgusting, and foul as we expected? Is polygamy only about sex? Tell me your spout off in comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Bye, everyone.